Oh. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Reva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tvameva Mata Chabita Tvameva Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva Tvameva vedyadravinam Tvameva sarvam Tvama deva deva Tvameva sarvam Mama deva deva. Jai Guru. Yata sarvani bhutani pratibhanti stitani cha yatra evo pashamam yanti tasmai satyatmane namaha. So where are we in our text?
We're starting chapter 24, page
Chapter-
247.
Pardon me?
Page 247.
Page 247, chapter 24. Enough light?
Yeah. Chaturvisha Sargaha, chapter 24, Bhagirathopakhyana, the story of Bhagiratha. Section 1, Sushuptam Maunam, the silence of Sushupti, or profound repose. Vasishtha Uvacha Sushuptam Aunavan Bhutva Tyaja Chitta Vilasitam. Vasishtha said, be one possessing the silence of Sushupti and renounce what is manifested by the mind.
So this is kind of like the title of it. Now, Sushupta also means sleep, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Deep sleep.
Deep sleep. But here it means deep repose, complete rest. So the silence of profound rest. It's the mystic meeting of Sabbath for Jews. On the seventh day, God rested. So remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. So an observant Jew is not supposed to work of any kind on the Sabbath. So what it means is the abandonment of the sense of struggle. Kartavya, obligatory action. It's all okay right here, right now. So let's see what Vasishtha says about it.
Shri Rama Uvacha Saushuptam Mauna Mityetat Brahman Bruhi Kim Uchyate. Sri Rama said, revered sage, tell me what is this that is called the silence of profound repose.
Now, before we go on, the word for silence here is maunam, but it comes from the same root as muni. What is a muni?
A sage.
A sage. So literally, a sage is one who has profound silence. I was talking with a student who's actually a devotee of Amaji, and she some time ago had done a 2-month silent meditation retreat. And in that time, I mean, complete silence, her inner dialogue just almost completely stopped. Now, when she came back to the States, it came back. But the point is, this repose, this interior silence is incredibly important. I have another friend who just came back from his first Goenka retreat. And he talked about keeping, I think the term he used was noble silence.
Mhm.
Is that the term they use?
Yeah.
That's a big part of it. It is of value to take even just one morning a week. Tell your spouse or your friends, I'm keeping silence this morning from the time I get up until after lunch. As simple as that. You know, many people will fast on a day in many, many religions. I tell you, it's far more powerful to fast from speech for a day. Who's tried that? Just during your everyday life, not on a retreat. Check it out.
I remember the first time I went on a silent retreat, it was a 10-day silent retreat at Spirit Rock, where there was it would be a Dharma talk at night, and then I think there was one group meet up with a teacher, but other than that, it was complete silence. And when I came out, it was like the world just seemed so busy. You know, it was just like, oh,
Mhm.
oh, colors and cars and noise. I love this silence.
And just watching people's interactions and how weird it seems.
Yeah, when you can coexist beautifully without any words.
Yeah. And for this one person with whom I was talking, what started to bother her, it's what I call you start to feel invisible. When we're very silent, social interaction can all be happening around us as if people don't even see us. Who's had that experience?
Mhm.
Now, if you have lokavasana, oh, I need to be seen, I need to interact, I need to have social contact, then you'll come out. Just something to think about. An interesting practice. All right, going on.
Vasishtha uvacha Vangmaunam vachasam rodho balat indriya nigraha akshamaunam parityagam cheshtanam kashtha sangyapam praspurat chitta kalanam etat maunatrayam bhavet. Vasishtha said, the silence of speech is the restraint or stoppage of utterance of words. The silence of the organs of sense is the suppression of these sense organs forcibly. The renunciation of all actions or efforts with the seizing or grasping by the mind, spreading far and wide, is designated as kashtha or wood-like silence. This would be 3 kinds of silence.
So he says van maunam, vak is the word, which means speech. So we've just talked about that first one. But upadati, sense withdrawal, deeper level, And then just this wood-like silence. Complete still. So for example, again, on a Goenka retreat, this friend was telling me there was one particular meditation during the day where no matter what's going on with your body, one's invited not to move. Is that right?
Mhm.
Now, the silence of profound repose is even more silent than these three. Going on.
Avibhagam anabhyasam anadhyantam yat asthitam dhyayato dhyayataschaiva sushuptam maunamuchyate. That which is obtained without division, without practice, without beginning and end, while meditating or not meditating, is spoken of it as the silence of profound repose.
So again, going back to the paradigm of this text reduces the mind to three ideas. Jiva Bhavana, I think I'm a person. That condition of Jiva Bhavana is inherently impoverished. I'm not enough, there's not enough. It always has an inherent sense of lack. Idea number two, the mind posits a goal. That goal only takes two forms. Either it'll be better if I fix or change the world, or it'll be better if I fix or change me. And the third idea, struggle. I'll be happy when, it'll be better if. I'm not going to be here now. My peace is there then. That's all there is to the mind. That's problematic. That's all there is to my suffering. That's all there is to samsara. These three ideas are the fundamental fruit of ignorance. If you remove these, then you get the silence of profound repose. Without them, no matter how still you become, you're still a person thinking it's all going to be so much better when I'm really, really silent, and I'm not there yet. Sound familiar? Let's see what he says. Going on.
Yatha bhutam ivam buddhva jagat nanatvam yatha sthitam asangveham saushuptam maunamuchyate. Having known this world, which is an error of manifoldness or multiplicity, truly and as it stands, the state free from doubt which one enters is called the silence of profound repose.
So here that second idea, knowing for certain that the phenomenal world perceived in the waking state, the Vishaya, the sense objects, Vishwa, the phenomenal world, the Jagat, is Mithya, illusory, Vaitatya, false. That bestows the silence of profound repose. Then the world just goes by and you watch the movie. By the way, backing up to those three ideas, you don't need to remove all three. All you have to do is remove one of them, and the other two fall. Now you can work on all three, but if you fully achieve the removal of any one of those three ideas, the other two fall. So here he's saying, get rid of the world, and it's all over. How do I do that? Constantly maintaining the awareness. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. The world of name and form, the light show. Mithya. Don't get involved. And we dress all this up. I was texting with someone that I've been corresponding with, and he was all upset because he says, I fell in love with this woman, and she rejected him. She wasn't interested in him. I can't help it. I fell in love with her. You know me. That's not love. Love is genuinely wishing the well-being of another. That's lust and attachment. Don't dress it up. It's the truth. I can remember one person saying, I knew it was love because it hurts so bad. Dude, love doesn't hurt. Love doesn't hurt. Attachment hurts. Expectation hurts. What's the difference between love and lust? Love is genuinely wishing the well-being of another. Lust is I want something. And it doesn't have to just be sex. It can be attention, approval, or if you're codependent, I'm important because I'm able to help or save or fix another person. But it's always transactional. And it's always laden with suffering. Any thoughts on this? I'm not saying it's wrong, but don't dress it up. See it for what it is. Whenever there's attachment, whenever I want something other than Brahman. And this fellow was saying, how can you tell if you're realized, what are the indications of being enlightened? And I just quoted Gita, chapter 2, verse 55. When a person casts off all the desires of the mind, O Partha, and is satisfied in the self, by the self. Then they've achieved the maunam of Sushupta. Sthita Prajna has many names. Silence of profound repose. Person of steady wisdom. Going on.
Sushuptam maunam yogi shay vividhai prapyate khalu. The silence of profound repose is indeed obtained by the masters of yoga of two kinds.
Okay. Kalu, verily, indeed. Let's see what they are.
Samyak jnana vabodhena nityameka samadhina sankhyaye vavabuddhaye te sankhya yogina smritaha. By becoming awake to right knowledge and by profound meditation on the one truth or reality constantly, those who have known the truth only by reason or reflection are regarded as Sankhya yogins.
Yes. So those who've done inquiry into the nature of the self, path of knowledge. And here he's using Sankhya not so much as in the Sankhya philosophy, but Sankhya the way it's used in Bhagavad Gita, meaning knowledge itself. Jnana. Deep meditation, inquiry into the nature of reality. Next one.
Pranadhya nilasan shantau yuktya ye padamagataha anamayam anadhyantam te smrita yoga yoginaha. Those who have arrived at the abode which is stainless and without beginning and end, on completely stilling prana and other vital airs through proper means, are considered as yoga yogins, or those who have attained to absorption in absolute consciousness through the path of yoga.
Yes, and by yoga, here we mean the Raja Yoga path, Patanjali, the 8 limbs. So he references pranayama, but it's all of it. It's all of it. And again, one of the great beauties of this text is it gives equal weight to Raja Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And you can practice an integral yoga, doing both. In fact, Swamiji's Diksha Guru, Swami Shivananda, taught this. He taught the Vedanta, but he also taught the Raja Yoga in Rishikesh. Swamiji did not. And I don't think Tapovanam did. I think his was the pure Vedanta. Going on.
Yatsankhya prapyate sthanam param yogai tadevahi ekatattva dhanabhyasa pranayam vilaya tatha mano vinigrahashchesti moksha shabdartha sangraha ekasminapi sansiddhe te siddhayanti parasparam. The same supreme state that is reached by those following the path of knowledge is arrived at by those following the path of yoga. The intense or uninterrupted practice of the one truth principle, the dissolution of the vital airs or pranas, and also the restraint of the mind constitute the epitome of the meaning of the word moksha or liberation.
And I think in US English, we call it epitome rather than epitome.
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 Even when one is accomplished, all of them are mutually fulfilled.
Yes. And I'm of the opinion that for authentic Raja Yoga practice, the last 3 stages merge with Vedanta practice. So you've got the yamas and niyamas, the first 2. Then you've got asana, posture, pranayama, breath control, pratyahara, sense withdrawal, dharana, concentration. That's where it starts to begin to become parallel, where we start to practice single pointedness of mind in the Vedanta tradition. Then dhyana, meditation, same as we get. What we meditate on is self-inquiry, What is this world? Who am I? And then the samadhi is the same. So they really do merge at that level. There's no real distinction. And each has its pitfall. If you do not do the intense renunciation and just study scripture, you become a pundit, a scholar, at best a lip Vedantin, and have no peace of mind. In the Raja Yoga tradition, you can do all these physical practices, but if you don't practice vairagya and give up attachment to the world, as soon as you come out of your meditation, you're agitated. Any thoughts on this? So if you just go through the 8 limbs of Raja Yoga, it doesn't overtly talk about vairagya, but it's there. It's there in the tradition. All right, going on.
Avinabhavini nityam jantunam pranachetasi kusuma modavat mishre tilataila iva sthite. Prana or vital air and the mind of beings are ever inseparably connected. They are associated like flower and its fragrance, and they exist like sesamum seed and its oil.
Yes. So in the West, we have what they call a Cartesian split, named after Descartes, that the mind is separate from the body. And I've heard people say, oh, yeah, no, I'm not really afraid. It's just in my body. Oh, I don't have, any trauma in my mind. It's just my body has held on to the trauma. Nonsense. In yoga, we say the body and the mind are a visible and an invisible part of the same organism. It's like an iceberg. So 1/10 of the iceberg floats above the ocean water. 9/10 of it is below the surface. It's invisible. Just ask the Titanic. So also, a human being has a visible part and an invisible part, and it's all connected. So the attitudes, beliefs, mental atmospheres, and physical well-being and health are connected. So the metaphysicians today say change your thinking and your body and your life will change. It works. The behaviorists will say act your way into right thinking, change your behavior, and your thinking will change. You know what yoga says? Yes, because they're not different. They're just two sides of the same thing. Two sides of the same thing. So also, one of the Panchavayu, the subtle airs, Udana, is the vital air that governs thinking and meditation. This is why, for example, something as simple, we were talking about this before class, about lightening your diet. In this little simple book called The Spiritual Teachings of Ramana Maharshi, There's a foreword by Carl Jung. I just found out recently, Carl Jung met Ramana Maharshi. I did not know this. He traveled to India and met him. But one of the discussions in it, a disciple asks Bhagawan, how do I achieve a sattvic mind? And Bhagawan's answer was, eat sattvic food. Now, it's more than just that. There's a whole lot of vegans who have got pretty messy minds. But it can help. Many of us have had the experience after we've practiced meditation for a period. We start to give up our attraction to drugs and alcohol and heavy food. Kinds of tamasic activities that used to attract us have fallen away. So there's inside outside. It's not split. Any thoughts on this? Going on.
आधाराध्येयवच्चैव एकभावे विनश्यतः कुरुतश्च स्वनाक्षेन कार्यं मोक्षाख्यमुत्तमम्. Both of them perish in the absence of one of them, just like a support and the supported. They accomplish by their destruction the highest object called liberation.
So the idea here is many people, for example, who are deep meditators, you may not notice it. Other people may watch you and see that your breath slows down, may even get very shallow, close to stopping completely. And if you practice pranayama, it will affect your mind. Simple things. True story. So we're going back 40 some years when I used to sing with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus. The music director at the time, one of the things he would have the members of the chorus do was alternate nostril breathing before a concert. It's hard for me to do. I got a stuffy nose. But why? It's just something he learned in a yoga class. But by slowing down the breath, lengthening the breath, balancing out, they call it the nadis, helps get rid of performance anxiety. Simple stuff. Going on.
Section 2. Vetalopakyanam, the story of a goblin.
Oh, I love goblins.
Shubhan akarnya prashanan prasangat smriti magatam asid vindhya mahatavyam vetalo vipul lakritihi. Hear these auspicious questions which have come to my memory in this context. There was a goblin with a large body in the forest of the Vindhya mountain.
I love these large body goblins. Going on.
Vinirmitam niragastam puropya bhagatam naram shukti topi nahantyesha santohi nanya darshakaha. Without cause and without offense, this goblin does not kill even a man arrived before him, even if he is hungry. for the good ones exhibit justice or righteousness.
So this is a rather unusual goblin. Food for his tribe, for his type of being is human flesh. But he won't eat people. Why not? Let's see.
Vina Vishayam ekada praptam bhupalam prokta vasanao maya labdhosi rajantvam bhava bhojana madhyame. Once during a night, he told a king who arrived, King, you have been obtained by me, you become my food today.
Now this seems contradictory. Did I misunderstand it? Does he only eat bad people?
Yeah, I think that's what it meant.
Okay,
He has
so
righteousness and he exhibits justice.
okay, so it's kind of like a riff on Karkati. Okay. So he only eats bad people. So he's going to eat this king because kings are always bad. Going on.
Rajavacha Chanityam ma chet ati balat iha tatate saha sahasradha murdha skotishyati na sanshayah. The king said, if you eat me here by force without justice, then your head will break into 1,000 parts. There is no doubt in this.
I wonder why. Going on.
Vetalascha tata praha न्यायोऽयं हि मयोच्यते राजसि सकलाशाश्च पूरणीया त्वयार्थितां प्रशनानाम् उत्तरं दत्त्वा प्रपूरय ममार्थनाम्. The goblin then said, this justice indeed is told now by me. You are a king. All the desires of a suppliant should be fulfilled by you.
Supplicant, I think he means, doesn't he?
The No, I mean, I guess they might have misspelled it. Yeah, supplicant should be fulfilled by you. Having given the answer to my questions, fulfill my request.
Okay. So we got questions and booms all over again.
Kasya suryasya rashminam brahmandani krisharvanaha. To or before the rays of which sun the universe are small atoms.
So this doesn't make sense. The universe is very big, and there are trillions of suns inside the universe. But what sun is it that's so big that the universe is like a little speck? Going on.
Swapnantaram gachan Shatashotha Sahasrashah Tyajanna Tyajati Swachan Kaswarupam Prabhaswaram. Moving from a dream to another dream 100 times and 1,000 times. Who does not leave his natural state, which is pure and brilliant, though abandoning or going away from it?
So that's interesting. So the idea is there you are in your bed. Do you go into the dream or do you stay where you are? Well, something goes into the dream, but you go nowhere. And of course, the implication is hundreds and thousands of dreams are our various lives. Think in the dream state, you have a dream body with a dream identity and ego, perceiving a dream world. In the waking state, you have a waking body with a dream identification. You see a waking state world. when you're in the waking state world, the dream body and its world is not available. When you're in the dream state, the waking state world is not available. But something there is that's a constant between both. You. That proves to us I am not my body. When you're in the dream, identified with the dream body, you are not identified with the body of the waking state. Wendy, you've been having these health challenges the past week or so.
Mhm.
Have you had them in the dream?
No. Mhm.
Proof. Proof you are not this body. Because you were the body in your dream while you were dreaming.
Yeah. Well, never heard it put quite that way. It's beautiful.
Now, which is the real body? What is our definition of real? That which is never subject to negation. Going on.
Brahmanda Kashabhutau Dha Suryamandalamerav Aparityajya Todutvam Kasyano Paramanavaha. To which atom, not abandoning its atomic nature, the universe, the sky, the multitude of beings, the solar orb, and the Meru mountain are infinitesimal particles.
So by atom here, it's a poor English translation. That which is the smallest of the small. The implication here is sometimes it seems like I'm a point from which perception takes place. Yet when I introvert my attention and notice the noticer, well, then it seems like I'm this vast expanse of infinite awareness. Well, am I a little point or am I a vast expanse? The trick is this: you have no dimension. Space and time are in you, but when you step outside of space and time, you have no length, width, breadth, size. You are so subtle that you pervade everything, yet everything is in you. Just like if you drive up to Twin Peaks and open your purse or your man purse and you take out a compact. Do women have compacts anymore?
I don't know.
Do you know what a
Makeup.
compact is?
I know.
Yeah, it's in the makeup kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you open up, there's a little round mirror. Hold it up, you face west, and you hold the little mirror up. In the mirror is the entire downtown of San Francisco. This little tiny mirror. The entire city is in the mirror. How did the great big city get in that little mirror? Going on.
Kasya Navaya Vasyaiva Yantar Majja Jagatriyai इत्युक्तवति बेलातो विहस्योवाच भूपतिः to whom, quite devoid of a body, are the three worlds only the inner marrow. When the goblin spoke thus, the king said, smiling.
Okay, so last question. Let's see what the king says. He's sharp. He's gonna, I think, answer the questions. Let's see.
Tvaya prokto hi chit surya vijnanatma ti bhasvaraha sarvani bhuvananiha tasyaiva trasarevanaha. The sun of pure consciousness, which is of the nature of knowledge and very bright, has indeed been described by you. All the worlds here are only its motes or particles of dust seen moving in the sunbeam.
Beautiful metaphor. So Surya is one of the oldest names for God that we find in the Vedas. And the idea is it's constant and it always shines. But if you're inside a room where there's dust, a beam of sunlight will shine in and you'll see the motes of dust, which are illumined by the beam of light. So everything in the phenomenal world is just motes of dust, illumined by the light of consciousness. Wonderful poetic metaphor. Any thoughts? Going on.
Jagat vyakhye mahaswapne swapnat swapnantaram rajan shantam tyajati no rupam jiva bhavam gate picha. Moving from one dream to another dream in this great dream called the world, it does not abandon its tranquil nature, even though it has gone to the state of the individual soul or individual consciousness.
So just like you have a dream on Monday night, on Monday night you have Monday's body with Monday's predicaments. You dream Tuesday, or you might even have more than one dream on Monday. And on Tuesday, new dreams, new experiences. Might have a similar body. But no matter how many dreams you have, and even the dream of today's waking state, something there is, which is an eternal factor, which is constant. I. What I see constantly changes. Seeing is the eternal factor. Don't believe me. Look to your direct experience. In that period, when the alarm goes off and you wake for the dream and become the waker, do you cease to exist for even an instant? No. Transition is instantaneous. Everything has changed but me. Going on.
Sukshmatvat apyalabhyavad paramatma rachyate puratasya पुरतस्य तस्य मे वार्दी Paramanu हि. On account of its subtlety and also unattainability, the Supreme Self is called atomic. Before that, the Meru mountain and others are indeed like infinitesimal particles only.
Yeah. So it can never be attained, found, seen, known, acquired, yet it's always attained. This is the great cosmic joke. The most miserable of creatures does not doubt that she is, does not doubt that she knows her misery. Listen very carefully. This is so cool. In the end, in actuality, ignorance never really covers the self. Ignorance just confuses the mind. The self cannot be covered. You are always you. So you have a nightmare. You're being chased by monsters who want you to pay taxes. Have you stopped being you? Hmm? No. Not even the worst nightmare covers the self. It just confuses the mind. Going on.
Sarva Vayavarupopi Nirastavavyavapumam Asya Vignat Asya Vignatni Matrasya Majjamatram Jagatrayam. This person, though of the form of the whole body, is devoid of body. To him, who is mere intelligence, the three worlds are, as it were, only marrow.
So the Purushottama, the supreme person, the essence of being, the three worlds just are all marrow inside me. Going on.
Iti Rajavacha Shrutva Vetala Shanti Mayayau Babhuva Cha Sadadhyani Vismritya Sakalam Shudham. Having heard thus the words of the king, the goblin attained to calmness. He became ever meditative, forgetting all hunger.
Yeah. So just hearing this from the king, Tundimo, he forgets his hunger. And there's a wonderful implication here. To be aware of my pain or predicaments makes them apparent to the mind. And the more I focus on them, and the more I reify them by believing in them, the more intense and real they seem. But even the most ordinary person who's not even a yogi So you've got an ache or a pain in your body, and you get involved in some project, you're working on something for work, you forget your body, don't you?
Yeah.
So your mind has to be hooked up to it. And for the yogi who has learned this trick to get out of the mind, that even the aches and pains of the body are very different. They're just sensation. This kid who did the Goenka retreat, that was one of his insights. He had a whole new understanding of sensation in the body. Did you guys get similar things out of it?
Mhm.
How would you articulate it?
What are sensations?
Your shift in your perception of bodily sensation.
I mean, the it opens up a dimension of experiencing the body through sensation, and it no longer feels like solid in that sense. It's just fleeting and changing phenomena. And so before you can even name it, it's gone. So something else comes up.
For some of us, isn't that right?
So possibly goes on.
Pardon me?
For some of us, it just stays for a long time.
Yeah. But you get the idea going on.
The new section. Section 3. Jnana Sadhanani, the means of knowledge.
Okay.
Sanhritya Sarvata Chittam Sarvatra Samadarshinaha Sthira Buddhe Amudhasya Yatha Prapna Nuvartinaha Ragnyo Bhagirathasyeva Dukha Sadhyamapi Siddhyati. To one who is perceiving equally everywhere, withdrawing his mind completely, who is of firm understanding, who is not infatuated or dull, and who is conforming to what is suitable to circumstance, even what is difficult to be accomplished is fulfilled, as happened for King Bhagiratha.
Yes. So the paradox here, I like the way Krishna language frames it in language in the Gita. This knowledge gives you mastery of this world and beyond. Because we begin to see the incredible power of single pointedness of mind and detachment, this equality of vision. No drama, Obama. I used to talk about him that way. But those of you who've been in the corporate sphere, you know what it's like when you have co-workers who are identified and attached, and how it impedes their capacity to be effective, especially if you're a manager. You got to learn detachment. Haven't you found that sound?
Yeah.
And if you personalize, you lose your effectiveness. If your mind is quiet, you have insight into things in the world and how they work. I don't know if you found this, but my friend Susan, who passed away last year,
Yeah.
she was a computer programmer. And she had this term, I don't know if they use it universally, but she talked about a computer program that's elegant was the term. Is that a term you've heard?
Yeah.
And so the antithesis of that is Microsoft. They never change anything. They just keep adding to the code.
Oh,
Is that right?
Mhm.
But someone who writes an elegant program is that it's thought out so clearly beforehand, and the way in which the code is written is elegant. It accomplishes things with a minimal amount of code, and you don't have to like be correcting stuff all the way along. Have I explained that okay?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. But that's a function of an insightful mind. And a quiet mind is the most insightful mind, unless you're on the spectrum. Then you can just do it like that. But I suspect people with autism have a kind of quietness.
I think so.
All right, going on.
आसीत् भगीरथो राम राजा परमधार्मिकः यौवने वर्तमानोऽपि लोकयात्रां विचारयन् अत्युद्विग्नमना भूत्वा सोपृच्छत्रिक्तुलं गुरम्. Rama, the king Bhagiratha, was a very virtuous person. Though being in his youth, reflecting on the course of worldly life and becoming extremely sorrowful in mind, he asked his preceptor Tripura as follows.
So we have again another one of these stories about a young person who, at a young age, sees through the foolishness of the world and becomes sorrowful. All the things that motivate all my friends just seem stupid. What's the meaning of life? Is there a purpose? Let's see what happens.
Jara marana mohadi rupanam bhayakarinam bhagavan sarvadukhanam kathamanta prajayate. Revered sage, how is the end of all sorrows of the form of old age, death, delusion, and the like causing fear produced?
Good question. Is it possible to be permanently free from suffering? Let's see what the answer is, or if there is one.
Chinmatram sarvagam shantam asti nirmalam achyutam tehadi netaram kinchit iti vedhi munishwaraha. Great sage, I know I know that there is the reality which is only pure consciousness, all pervading, tranquil, stainless, and imperishable, and there is nothing different whatsoever, and there is nothing different whatever such as the body.
So the king is saying he has some indirect knowledge, some understanding of the truth. Let's see what happens. Going on.
Kitvatra pratipatti me sputatam eti na prabho etavanmatra sanvitti syam aham sarvada katham. Lord, but in this respect, my perception of the truth does not arrive at clarity. How may I remain always as just this pure consciousness of such nature?
So even though he has an intellectual understanding, against his will, there he is getting upset in the world, attached to this, averring that. personalizing this. The human condition. Somehow just reading the books hasn't done it. Going on.
Tritula uvacha jnanena jneyaniஷ்ഠित्यम् eti cheto hridambare tata sarvatmako bhutva bhuyo gacchena jivatam. Tritula said, the mind attains to fixity in or the accomplishment of what is to be known, that is truth or reality, in the space of the heart through spiritual knowledge. Then, becoming of the nature of the whole, it does not again go to the state of the individual soul or individualized consciousness.
Yeah. So Swamiji would define the spiritual heart as when the intellect is quiet and the mind has stopped all its struggling. There's just that emptiness. That's the spiritual heart. Going on.
Asakti, anabhishtavanga, putradara, grihadishu, nityam cha samichittatvam, ishtanishto pattishu, atmano nanya yogena, tadbhavanam anataratam, vivikta desha sevittam, arati jana sansadi, adhyatma jnananishtatvam, तत्त्वज्ञानार्थदर्शनम् एतत् ज्ञानम् इति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं स्यात् इतोऽन्यथा. Non-attachment, absence of identification through intense attachment with son, wife, home, and the like, and constant even-mindedness or equanimity on the attainment of the desirable and the undesirable, the contemplation of the self continuously by undivided union with it, resort to sequestered places, absence of pleasure in an assembly of people, fixity in self-knowledge, and perception of the object of true knowledge. This is declared to be knowledge. What is different from this would be the absence of knowledge or ignorance.
Yes. So let's go quickly through this list. It's a great place to stop tonight. First idea,
Non-attachment.
yes. That's where it starts. Deeply internalizing that if I'm upset, it's not because of anything out there. I'm upset because I'm wanting. I have a desire, an expectation. Ego says, play whack-a-mole with the world. Yoga says, Buddha, fool, there you are wanting again. Drop the wanting. Next idea.
Absence of identification with son, wife, home, and the like.
Yes. So in Shankara's definition of vairagya, that desire to give up attachment to all experiences gained through the senses and identification with any personal sense of self. If I think I'm a person, I'm deluded. Stop it. Go home. Who am I? Oh, that's right. I remember. I'm the witness. I'm not a person. Don't personalize stuff. Data comes through, and other people will aim things at you. You are a fill in the blank. How could you have done this to me? Just let it pass through. Next idea.
Constant even-mindedness or equanimity on the attainment of the desirable and the undesirable.
Understanding the fundamental mechanical nature of the mind. When the situation is conducive, mind is happy. When the situation is non-conducive, mind is unhappy. Those are all just karmic. It's all based on the repetition of the past. It's so boring. It's so repetitive. You've heard me say this so many times. Who got upset this week? Tell me this is the first time you felt it. Aren't you tired of it? It's so boring. It's so repetitive. You might as well in your journal just get one of those rubber stamps with the same issue. Next page. It's the same thing. Am I wrong?
No,
That's all the mind is. When the situation is conducive, when the situation is non-conducive, it's all it does. Disregard it. Disregard it. Turn down the volume level. Have this samadrishta, this equality of mind. And if you don't feed it, it tunes down incredibly. Next idea.
The contemplation of the self continuously by undivided union with it.
Yes. So, who am I? What is my real nature? To whom did this experience happen? To me. Who am I? And that wonderful little gift that my friend Justin gave me. Who cares? I love working them both together. If I'm upset, who cares? It's never the self. It's never me. It's always my stupid ass ego. Drop it. And if you can learn to tune up the mind frequently as you can, Swamiji always used to say, and I will say, use the guru. He'd say, just think of me wherever I am around the world. That'll tune you up. Next idea.
Resort to sequestered places.
Yes. So give up this FOMO, this fear of missing out. It never changes. I was talking with a fellow this morning and he's getting all triggered at work. He's a nurse and he's an ER nurse. He's in the emergency room and they're moving him into what they call resuscitation, which is the most critical nursing. People come in and they're redlining. So it's really critical nursing. And as he's being trained, they have what they call a preceptor, which is a senior nurse, and it's their job to train them. And this just no nonsense. They don't worry about your feelings. They just say, no, you did this wrong. Yeah, pay attention to that, And he has a really hard time this week. He was personalizing it. Oh, they're mean. No. And then I asked him the big question. Have you been meditating this week? Well, not really. You've been reading your spiritual literature? No. His forgettery has started to expand. The practice. Next idea.
Fixity in self-knowledge and perception of the object of true knowledge.
Yeah. So, sthita prajna, steady wisdom. Don't be satisfied with just a little hidden juice in class. Be rooted, you know. Is that the end of the verse?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect place to stop.
There's like 3 more verses for the end of the section.
Yeah, but it's already past
Okay.
9 o'clock. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Shishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.